And then if people come on, if you see me pause, it's because I'm letting people in as I'm talking. So just bear with me. So good evening, ladies. I appreciate you all coming on and, taking this time to just dive important and hear us kind of chat with you. So I wanted us to be able to, I wanted to kind of refresh because there's a lot of new faces that are on here. And I know there's a lot of new team members that have joined us. So one of the biggest things that I know when it comes to starting out in the business and starting out on the journey is sharing your story or like sharing parts of you. I think we get into this moment where we start out on this business and we're so excited, which is great. The energy and the enthusiasm when you're talking about Thrive is awesome because we all get excited. I know when I started, it was very exciting because it's fresh, it's new, it's awesome. But then it's how do I incorporate me along with sharing Thrive? Because remember when we joined, who we were didn't change. Nothing about ourselves disappeared once we joined Thrive. Thrive is just an added bonus to our day-to-day lives. So there is a great training on our Audacious Babes page where Shay mentions about writing out your 5 things before Thrive. So, one of the biggest things is, who are you? What do you represent yourself? Are you a mom? Do you like to work out? Do you like crafting? Do you like collecting things? You need to dig deep and think about those other things that represent who you are. And once you find those things that represent who you are, then it's okay. So how do I properly or how do I incorporate now Thrive and my 3 steps along with those things? So for me, besides me being a mom, I'm also a power lifter. So how can I incorporate that? So one thing that I'll do sometimes is like this morning, I went to the gym at 4 a.m. I got up at 3 and went to go work out. I can use that post and be like, 2 years ago, which is true. 2 years ago, it would have been such a struggle just to get out of bed because I would have been hitting snooze every single day. But I'm so thankful that, my 3 steps or my jumper cables are just giving me that instant boost that I don't need to go run and get coffee first thing in the morning to get the energy going to go exercise and lift heavy. If you're a stay-at-home mom, be saying, I'm just so thankful, keeping up with, if you like, say you have a toddler, keeping up with toddlers before was awful, and it was so hard and it was stressful and it was exhausting, and I needed a nap every time my kid napped. And now I don't have to nap. Now I'm like ready to like conquer the day. I'm ready to do loads of laundry, clean the house. It's like, who is this human being? So you have to think about your day-to-day life that you do, and you really almost have to go back and think, how was I acting before? What was my energy and my lifestyle like prior to using Thrive? So if you were one that was constantly needing a nap, definitely share that. Share that, naps are a thing of the past now. Even when you want to nap, you can't because you're just so energized. Um, Even something as simple as, I love to cook now. Like, I love making home cooked meals because you want to make sure you're properly feeding your body with good stuff. We say it all the time, Thrive isn't this magic medicine where you just take that and you should instantly now have this healthy life. No, you've got to incorporate all around. So you're eating better, you're drinking more water, you're more conscious of what you're putting in your body. Now it's okay to be like, yes, I have cheat days, but you don't have as many cheat days maybe as you used to. So doing things like that. So that I would say, as far as like when you're posting, because I know sometimes we get stuck when we're like, gosh, I don't know how to really post about it without sounding salesy, because I know a lot of the times you don't want to seem like a salesperson, because this should be very authentic, because you should be very natural and flowing. You have to almost do it as if you're having a conversation with a girlfriend. If somebody's asking you about Thrive or what is that sticker that you're wearing, you don't want to just be like, oh, it's da 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 da. You don't want to word vomit them. Be like, oh yeah, it's just vitamins that I've been taking, and that's when you almost lead into them wanting to know more, because they're like, vitamins, what do you mean? I'm like, well, there's this 3-step system I take, and it works specifically to whatever it is your goals are, and it's going to fit the needs that you were looking for. And that's how you start up the questions, you start up the conversation. But if you were to give somebody everything all at once and word vomit, then they're going to be turned off, and they're going to be like, yeah, I'll get back to you. So you want to be natural, where they're continuously asking more questions. Um, so one thing too, so with posts, that's kind of where you can go with that. Now with our stories is a big thing. It is awesome when you are able to share about taking your 3 steps in your stories. It's awesome when you're able to show off your DFT for the day, when you're showing them how you're making your shake. That's awesome. But also, don't forget to share you. Don't forget to share your day to day. Say you're getting ready to go work, like I said, say you're going to go work out, you're posting your sweaty gym self, you're like, and then you're having a conversation with your audience, letting them know, like, oh man, that was a crazy workout. Oh, I did this, this, and this. But, I'm just so glad that, that these 3 steps are giving me that boost that I need to, not be totally fatigued. Or you're sharing, your dinner recipe for the night, just things like that. Get them to hear your story. It's one thing when you're just constantly posting thrive, 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 thrive. There's nothing wrong with that, but people are going to start slowly checking out, and you don't want them to do that. You want them to go kind of through your day, almost like you're reading a story. You want to give them all the little goods and stuff. So like, even, sometimes I'll share with my kids having a moment and they're being very obnoxious. I'll share that. Don't be afraid to share parts of you. That's what they want. Remember, there was us before Thrive. Thrive is just the added bonus that we now get to share and show off. And it's beautiful. So don't forget who you were prior. Like I said, going live and sharing, you and your kids, cooking together or baking together, whatever it is. There was one time I think I shared us playing a game, doing game night. Don't forget those little things. And if you're like, well, I don't know what to share, or I don't know my 5 things, re-watch the live, like I said, that Shay did, and and take notes. And if you have more than 5 things, that's great. It's better to have more things to share and talk about than to say, I have nothing to talk about. And that's where you have to dig deep. And then the other biggest thing is making sure you are self-developing, making sure you are really giving that time for yourself to really dig deep and think about what it is you want to talk about. If there's something like a certain what's the word I'm looking for? If there's a story or a personal testimony that led you to wanting to start this business, if there was something that was super passionate about what made you join, that you were like, okay, I no longer wanted to have deal with this situation, or you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck, or you were tired of having your spouse just constantly be the breadwinner of the household, but you wanted to help, but you didn't want to leave your kids. There's so much that you can really pull out to share. So don't think that there's nothing that you can talk about. One thing, and it's going to change. That was the thing. Your story is always going to change. Your why is always going to change. You may not have the same why when you first start. When I first started, it was just, I just want to be able to put gas in my car. I just wanted to be able to, do little things. And now 2 years in, my why is completely shifted. It's, I want to be able to be home full time and work at the school part time. I don't want to have to worry about, oh, if I don't have work, I'm okay because I'm building something. You want to continuously grow and continuously want your story to change for the better. So don't think that, your current why right now is going to be the same in 6 months, because it's not. It's going to continuously evolve. And that's also where the growth comes in. And that's also where you have to be consistent with showing up every day, with showing up in your story, showing up in your posts, letting people know, like, hey, I'm still here. If you are just only showing up here and there, people aren't going to they're not going to take you seriously, and they're not going to be able to build that relationship with you, because they want to build that relationship with you. They want to get to know you, especially if you have new followers that are following you. If you're just like, hey, I'm here, and then disappear for a while, and then you come back, they're gonna be like, wait, what's going on? And so be natural, be authentic with it. And if you have questions, that is what we're here for. Reach out to an upline, reach out to a sign line. Like, if your upline is busy for whatever reason, or they can't get in touch with you at the moment, there's plenty of leaders on here that you can reach out to ask questions, and we are definitely here to help and assist. So don't ever feel like you can't reach out to another person, or even reach out to a sideline sister if you have questions. But don't forget the reason why you started this business. Don't forget the reason why you joined. There was a reason why you said yes and you hit that promoter button. And I know sometimes it can feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to overwhelm people. It's okay. It's very okay to just keep gosh, I'm having the worst brain fart. I'm so sorry, guys. um it's okay to be repetitive when it comes to, like, right now we're dealing with the $25 pre-loaded credits, and us doing the mail out samples. It's okay to be repetitive in that sense and talking about that, but then don't forget to share other parts of you. Don't just continuously throw at them um just all of that and not share you. And get creative with it too. When you're showing up and talking about promos or opportunities, get creative. Let them see your face. Let them hear your voice. If, like, you're only showing your 3 steps only in pictures and not showing them and explaining to them and giving out details of, like, what the products do, then they're going to be like, okay. So don't be afraid of that. Um, oh my gosh. All my stuff is going. There was one quote. There was something that I completely lost in my notes, and I'm so sorry. And then one thing too, when it comes to you sharing your story, is I'm sorry, guys, I lost it. I'm sorry. This is the this is not my best. I am apologizing. My brain just completely went blank, and it's gone. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. This is what happens when I do wake up at 3 a.m. to go work out. This is what happens. Everything just went gone. But you want to continuously grow in the process. Lean into the team trainings, lean into anything that we talk about, sharing. And then also, when it comes to sharing out on the Lavelle page, that was it. There was something Paul legit just talked about on the page that I was like, that was really good. So he said, was it on this one? No, I can't remember right now, guys. I'm sorry. I'm having complete brain fog. If somebody wants to intertwine and add their 2 cents, I'm apologizing right now.
I can talk if you need me to.
Go for it.
I think you're doing a great job, so don't panic. I feel like we all have busy schedules, and at the end of the day, it can get really hard to remember anything, right? So give yourself grace. But I think what you're saying is amazing, and it's just basically everything that you've talked about is stuff that has been said before, but there's something to saying it again, like having that repetitive, having that happen over and over just to remind yourself. I even personally get off track all the time, and I have these conversations with myself almost daily, like, okay, why did you do that, or why didn't you do that, or why can't I do this? I swear, some days like today I could post 7,000 things, and then there's other days where I'm like, I have nothing to say, like I really don't know what to say. So we have to just kind of remember, and I think that's why the 5 4 3 2 1 is such a great thing to remember, because it helps us, it guides us. The whole point of it is to keep us on track, to keep us on a daily routine. And so even if you're not using the 5 4 3 2 1, use some kind of system every single day that's going to keep you focused on what you're doing. I'm a part of like several engagement groups with other like bloggers and influencers and things like that, and everything I learned from them, I try to teach you guys, because Instagram, it's constantly changing, it's constantly growing, it's constantly changing its algorithm. We're always trying to figure things out. And so the more I learn, I try to, bring that to you guys. So, but what I was trying to say is they are extremely intentional every single day. They don't miss a day, they don't miss a post, they don't miss collaborations and things like that. It's their business. And so just like us, it's our business. And especially right now, before it used to be like, oh, well, if you worked and you could share this with other people. Just about everybody is home, and so many people are working from home right now. So we have the privilege of really building things here on social media and using our platform to really grow in that area. And the thing is, I personally, I didn't do any of this before. I had to learn just like anybody else. Before it was, I was on social media to post about my baby, and that was probably about it. Or, when Austin and I were dating, it was just me and Austin. I mean, now I look at it and I'm like, this is my business, and I have to treat it that way. I have to treat it with intentionality every single day, and give yourself, a grace and room for growth. If you don't do all things in one day, that's okay. Like, but just keep showing up, keep going, keep doing what you can. I think what Ashley said was really awesome about the being repetitive with the things like that are time sensitive. So like with this promo, we still have what, 2 or 3 days left. I don't even know what date it is right now. I know it ends on the 16th. It's the 14th already.
We have 4 days left of it.
Oh, we have four. I was like, oh my God, it's 14. That's crazy. Okay, so 4 more days. Things I like to do when I do stuff like this is like say it different ways. Like go and, like she said, talk on your stories, share your face. I did that the other day, and I was like, okay, I just want to show you a couple of my favorite products, and it's $25, and it's like so simple. I put wording at the bottom, because I will say this, 9 times out of 10, for some reason, most people do not have their volume on when they are going through stories on Instagram, right? So if they catch a wording or they catch your like phrase down below on your story, more than likely they're going to be seeing what you're doing, right? Instead of just turning your sound on to find out. I promise you, I've tried this several different ways, and I always get the most response when I put wording down below if I'm talking on a story. So I kind of in a gist like reference it. And so they have to ask me a question. Like I don't give it all, or they have to turn my sound on, right? But put something in there, put wording in. And then the other thing is like visually show your products and show them the difference in the pricing. Anything you see on my stories, you're free to use. I know a lot of our leaders, we use the same things, and so just screenshot it, share it out as much as you possibly can. Share about the products, go live about the five or 3 or 4 or 5 of your favorite products. It doesn't even have to be the 3-step system. Follow up with your people that are doing the sample kits. Let them know, hey, I know you just got a sample kit, but like $25 is yours to use on anything. So just doing it different ways, and showing your face, or putting like the other one, and I haven't used it yet, but I probably will use it tomorrow, is free Thrive cash waiting for you, or something like that. So it's worded differently. So sometimes it catches someone's eye, or sometimes it's that 17th time that they've seen it and they're like, okay, now I really want to do this. So don't feel Like, even if people are not knocking down your door, they will. They will eventually knock down your door. I promise you. I've been doing this for a long time. Majority of the people that are trying these products, even just this month, have watched me from the get-go. They have watched me from the beginning. So if you can just persevere and you can keep pushing and you can keep even just seeing how our leaders have done, they've been in this business for a while now. Like, take their words for it. Like, they haven't stopped, they haven't given up, and their rewards are coming even now. So hopefully you feel inspired with that, you feel motivated by that. But if not, do it anyway, right?
I wanted to
Sometimes
end
you
with
don't.
this. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
I wanted to end with this. It came. Don't ever feel too when you're sharing your story that, well, somebody else has the same exact story, but your story is unique. And sometimes there's a bunch of us in here that are single moms, including myself, but all of our stories are so uniquely different that what somebody may be drawn to what Kristen's story, what someone may be drawn to mine may not be the same as somebody else that draws to Kristen's or that's drawn to Justine's. We're all unique. Just like Shay's a stay-at-home mom with 3 boys. There's plenty of other moms on here that have boys. So don't ever think just because we all have something similar to each other that they're watching them. They could be specifically watching your story because your story may be just a little bit more unique than the other person. So you keep sharing your story. You keep sharing who you are. That's the other thing where I was saying, also being repetitive is continuously sharing who you are, because at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, they're looking at your story. They're looking at what you have to share. They want to see your success in the sense of you went through all of the nonsense that you probably went through, but you overcame it regardless of your circumstance. You overcame your story regardless of whatever anyone else said. That was the big thing that I wanted to say, was that no matter how similar you may be to another person that might also be sharing about Thrive, there's something that is about you that drew your potentials to your inbox or drew your potentials to your story, or continuously reach out to you and say, wow, thank you for continuously showing up and sharing who you are. That's what draws them to you. That's what makes them want to hear you more. So don't think your story is invalid or that your story isn't pizzazz. You don't have to have this breakthrough story to share. It can be something as simple as, man, I used to go to Starbucks and get 5 cups of venti coffees with 18 pumps of mocha, and now I don't do that anymore. That was me that used to do that. But that could be, it's something as simple as that, where you would just lay in bed all day and refuse to get up, and now you don't do that anymore. So that was my big point that I wanted to throw out there. So I don't know if she had a final thing that she wanted to say. Yeah, 18 pumps of mocha, that was real life, and they knew that. So I don't know if anyone else wanted to interject, but if that is it, thank you guys for hopping on and watching my hot mess express happen. You would have thought the kids were here, but they're not. But thank you guys so much for coming, and I will share this on the page shortly, and love you guys. Have a good night.